might be a professional.
Not quite.
You're getting there.
I'm trying. It's not showing me live.
The fucking not working.
Okay. I'm going to throw together everything and post it to all three at the same time. Well, post it at the same time.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't want to overload my PC here.
When this fucking working.
For some reason, it's not showing questions that need answers as live. It's only showing the crazy bee. Hold on. Oh no, it's showing it's live too. Okay, yeah, now it's showing it's all live. Good.
Yeah, it's been
all right, we're getting somewhere.
Been showing live.
On Rumble. I just wanted to make sure Rumble actually was getting shit straight this time.
Okay.
Now I'm jumping over to YouTube to get it fixed. Except I'm kind of overloading. I know I am right now. So
why is that
my RAM came out? Because I was playing with something and it's going to take over an hour to finish. Okay. If you want to send a message to MJ, I'm going to be dropping the link in the server in a minute.
Okay.
Just to have him keep an eye out, and I'm going to tag it with an @ here.
Okay.
So he can know.
Okay.
This is the joys of the studio. You kind of gotta fuss with things little by little. Right. Come on, upload. Got it. Shit. Mother fudger. Okay.
I sent him a message.
I just tagged everyone too.
Okay. You put it in the general? In the under...
Yes, I did. For right now.
Well, I don't have
I'll set up an announcement
I
thing.
got it. I got it. Okay, just hold.
will read that later. All right. Where am I?
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
not bad.
That's pulling my people from the game got it.
Yeah, everyone's going to get the info.
Okay. We'll have to do something about that later.
Oh, I can start. You know what I need to do is set up the roles so I can tag specific roles.
Yeah.
Why is my image no longer on the frickin' screen? Why? It shows I'm not on the. Can you see me in the studio?
Nope. I can hear you.
Why? Why? Why would it do this to me? Why?
I have internet.
Give me a minute to fix this. Oh, shit.
Quit swearing. No. Yeah, it says
Sure.
we're live.
Okay.
It says we're live. Use your words.
Oh, I know we're live. The problem is it's not wanting to show me on the damn screen.
Okay, now here's what's interesting. You just popped up on the screen in the editor, but not in
Yeah,
the.
I know because I haven't carried it over. Now I'm in both.
There you
I
are.
had to fix it. So we're good, I think. Physically,
So
mentally,
we're gonna end up. Hold
emotionally.
on. Hold on. We're gonna be ending up creating rules that they won't get that message again. Correct? For the
Yes,
actual.
some of them.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to work on that. It's
Yeah.
one
I'm
thing at a
no
time.
hurry. I'm just sending them a message because they're like, "What's going on?"
Well, they could come and watch if they really want. I've got to make some adjustments to the server. I do apologize. I forgot. Joys of being me. I can only do so much in a day, and my brain is fried right now. And that's a massive
So, are
understatement.
you telling me that you want the frying pan right now?
Well, then how would we do the live? Especially with you not feeling good.
Well, you want to know what's funny? Ready?
Uh-uh.
So, you know the issue with the new microphone, correct? So, I
Yes.
said, well, I'm going to use the new headphones. The new headphones say that they were paired with the tablet, and I've done that many times with my old one with my earbuds. So, the new
Uh-huh.
says that it's paired. I put them on, and I can't hear through them. It's only coming through the tablet still. What is going on?
I don't
I
know.
don't know either. So apparently, it's got to be the user, right? Uh,
Possibly.
I would say probably 99%. Just
Oh, I get it. I get it 100%. I do. Hi, Blue. I see you in that.
hey, Blue, you made me sick. You send
So,
it way up here. You gave me her
oh,
sick.
goodness.
How I'm sick. How germs spread all the way across the country.
Yes, they do. Usually by person to person transmission. So,
Correct.
unless you hugged her or shared a drink,
Oh,
I mean,
I do believe that it comes through the phone. I mean, you send me the rain and you send me allergy stuff and stuff like that. So,
ah,
it's,
okay.
if you believe in this stuff, it's
I
how
send
it works.
weather through the phone, and
You
she
do.
sends viruses through the
Correct.
phone.
That's correct.
It says, I'm still
I,
sick. I have a cough, body aches. Yep.
yeah, it must
That's what
be.
she was saying in the comments.
Yeah, it must be a thing going around because I don't feel as like out of body as I did earlier when we talked, but I am. You can tell
Yeah.
something's going on. So,
Yeah, you
oh
sound ugh.
yeah,
Sound
I
like you're
feel.
cookie.
Yep, I am. Yeah. All right. What do we got going on? We, I guess. First, let's put up our little
The
request that I.
flyer?
Yeah, the what are we calling it? Yeah,
Flyer.
the flyer. I thought you said the fire. See, it's going to be a good day today. So, as you know, everybody, from yesterday's live that we did, um, you will see this from time to time. Not every day, but just for probably this week and going into part of next week, more frequently. We are not monetized on YouTube nor Rumble. Um, Rumble, in order to get uh, any monies from them, you have to use their studio, which, according to our great tech wizard, Crazy B, says that the studio there sucks. That's why we're using something else. Um, so we're not receiving any revenue from Rumble whatsoever, nor YouTube. We're not taking any ads. We're not taking any sponsors. We're not doing any product, uh, having any products at this time. So the only way to support the channel is through direct donations via PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. Um, One of the things we talked about was Rumble was taking, if we made $1, which was what they wanted to give us on some of the videos, we would only receive 50 cents. And on YouTube, it would be 70 cents. Um,
Yeah,
so
it is, not worth it in some cases.
correct. So Crazy B doesn't like to beg for money. Neither do I, but in this case, we have to. We are currently $400 in the hole for current programming. So if you can contribute to our channel and our content, we would greatly appreciate it. And with that, we'll move on. The other thing I
Alrighty.
wanted to mention, yeah, was yesterday's live kind of was very interesting because we got sidetracked uh, from what our original programming was, all because the two of us have opposing opinions on women serving in military combat. Um, we thought it was a great back and forth um, discussion. Uh, and as we talked about it afterwards, this is the kind of things that we want to do on the channel. And basically, as Crazy B mentioned, I said discussion and she used a much better word, which was conversation. And that's, I think, what Crazy B, why don't you take that part over so I could get something to drink?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what a conversation is anymore,
Hmm.
and we need to work on that. We need people to learn what a conversation is, not see it as an argument, and, really just kind of start focusing on learning to communicate. I like the idea of communicating.
And it's not, and we weren't mad at each other. We didn't call each other any kind of name. We
No, we did not.
we might have raised our voice somewhat to maybe overtalk the other person to get our point across, or we were passionate about which position that we took. What else, Crazy B? What am I missing?
Not much, really. We were both had our supports. We for our why we were talking and thinking the way we did and why we stand for what we stand for. I mean, that's all there was to it. We just had a conversation.
Right.
And it's interesting that, people would see something like that as an argument
Hmm.
or a fight or a even a disagreement. Well, I mean, it is a slight disagreement, but not on the level like the leftist who's constantly like when someone starts talking passionately, they see it as a insult or a whole bunch of nonsense. And they're like, oh, they were screaming at me, they were yelling at me, they were this, that, the other. No, they weren't. They simply were just equally passionately talking to you about it. And you got to like calm yourselves down, people. It's okay if people talk passionately. It's okay if they get excited and they're pushing their point. That doesn't mean they're screaming and fighting with you. It's again, people misunderstand the tones, I think, is really what it boils down to.
I agree. I think people get, and this was part of what we also talked about, the lack of the conversation. So many people
Yeah.
today are talking via DMs, say on Discord, for example, or you're talking via an email, and you miss the inflection, you miss the tone, you miss the opportunity
Yep.
to interrupt and ask questions. And so, let's say you send
Mhm.
me a DM in a Discord and you're talking, uh, you know, via the combat discussion. And here's the funny part is when I read it, I know exactly what you're saying, how you said it, and what you mean. And that could be the
Yes.
furthest thing from the truth, to be honest. I take what I know of Crazy B and put in there what I think, or in this case, what I know to be true of what she's saying to me. And guess what? It's not true at all. So there is a something to be said for having these conversations, and that's what we're attempting to do here. So if we get
Yes.
sidetracked, um, as I told you yesterday, none of this is rehearsed. None of this is, you take this part or you take this sentence or this topic and you read it or you play this video. None of that's done in advance. None of it. So
It's not.
yeah, what you see is what you get, and this is us raw, honest, and uh, some things. There's a video I may have watched, the Crazy Bee did not. There's some things that we have planned that she's like, "Wait till you see this, you're going to be really pissed off," and I'm like, "Don't show it to me. We'll do it, and you'll get my."
Actually, that's the first thing we have right now.
Oh, is it okay? So
Yep.
this is
That's
the
what we discussed earlier is what we've got right now.
okay.
You know you're
So
showing your screen, right?
that is
This
that
entire
is
time you just doxed yourself.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, because you're live stream, right?
I'm not showing the video the page I'm on. Just go
we
do
have
something productive.
there we go. We have an additional tech support in the house to make sure that the Tech One is in compliance. But we're trying to do things that other content creators aren't. Uh, and with that, we'll just stop. Let's just get into because I don't want to waste time. We have a lot of stuff to get
Yes.
through. Okay, so hit it, Crazy B.
I'm going to try. All right. So, watch this video. We're going to play it through.
Oh yeah. You want video, cool? You want video? You want video? You want video? You want video? You just hit a kid, bro. He losing his job. Right. I ain't doing shit. Keep your hands off of me. You can do your funky experience. You never put your hands on me. Yeah. Teacher hitting Big Mike, man. Get your leg back. Get your leg back. Don't hit him, Big Mike. He losing his job. Oh yeah. You want video, cool? You want video? You want video? You want video? You want video? You just hit a kid, bro.
So, we see this. We've heard it. Did you hear what the driver was saying, which is something I found that they chose to not enhance. is he told the kid, "Don't put your hands on me." Now, I'm not okay with an adult hitting a child ever. But so I did some digging.
Now,
And
isn't this kid a disabled kid?
yes, he is a disabled kid. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and share the backstory a little bit about this kid. And then we're going to dig a little bit deeper into something. And I'm going to point out a few things after we go through the next video. Okay.
Yep, go ahead.
Let me just shut this down so I can get to the next video, because there's no easy way to switch between them. Here's the next video. Whoops, hold on. Stop sharing that tab. Oh, for fudge's sake. I forgot I had enlarged it. My bad. 1 minute. So then this video is up. Nope, wrong. This one. Let me jump to the next one. And then we got to talk a little bit more about this. Listen to this video. Let me, transition it. Listen to this one.
I'm sure that many of you have already seen this viral video. I put it out on Thursday, hours after it happened, and I released it as quickly as I could because I had inside information that there were certain people who were trying to bury this story. Michael, also known as Big Mike, needed justice, and this is now a national news story. He was brutally beaten on a school bus on his way home from school. The employee was fired, but Big Mike has been suspended for 3 days. I cannot release all the details regarding why, but our heart is with Michael. He is a foster kid living in a foster care facility. Michael has had a traumatic past, and this incident did not help matters. Michael did not hit back, and we are proud of him for not reacting violently to a violent man. Rebecca Smith, owner of Love Heals Youth in Montgomery County, provides mental health care to vulnerable kids. She is in contact with me and has made a request on Big Mike's behalf. Big Mike loves Big Macs. The response from Michael when asked what is something special we can bring was McDonald's, and he confessed that Big Macs were his favorite. Despite the horrific event, Michael has stayed positive. He has found healing and comfort. He is excited that so many people care about him and has come to see him, and in his words, he had never met a senator before. If you would like to send a video to Big Mike stating something like, "I'm proud of you, and we are proud that you had the courage to do the right thing. Never forget that you are loved." Then we will compile all those videos and make one large video for him to show him how many people care and are praying over him and his situation. Please send your videos to this email. It will also be included in the description. And McDonald's, if you are listening, I think you know what to do.
Okay. So we hear the SAP story.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the video.
Right.
We heard the guy say, "Don't put your hands on me."
Right.
Right?
Right.
Well, he got arrested. But here's the funny thing. Everyone's all up in roars about this, but these videos are from 2023 and they're being recirculated.
Why?
To cause chaos and further
now?
division.
Okay, so remember.
I don't know why now.
Okay, remember.
Hold on, look, I've got his the news article on his arrest.
Okay,
it is August of 2023.
Okay, go
right
ahead.
Here. I put it in.
But it's the video's being shown again now on X. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That's interesting. Okay, let's see what else you have before we continue to talk. Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to hit play on this newscast.
Okay.
A misdemeanor. New at 10 o'clock, a man accused of beating a student on a school bus has now been charged. That incident was caught on camera. We want to warn you, you may find the video upsetting. Conroe ISD telling us this happened last Thursday. The Montgomery County DA's office confirms Donald Tisdale was the bus monitor seen in the video hitting a 17-year-old boy. It is not clear what led up to the assault, but the district told us last week Tisdale has been fired. According to jail records, Tisdale is now out on a $1,500 bond. He's been charged with assault causing bodily injury. That's a Class A misdemeanor.
So, let me stop sharing. Sorry. So, but again, in the video, you heard him say, "Don't put your hands on me." So
The
the kid obviously hit him first, or was going to hit him. I still don't agree. The guy should not have laid hands on a kid ever.
no, and that's
But
the
why
piece.
are people kicking this around
Okay,
2
so
years later?
right. Okay, so one point is the video or whoever was filming it did not show what took place prior to the guy hitting him. Okay? Right.
Correct.
So that's one issue. Did Big Mike hit him first? Or, and that's when he hit him back and said, "Don't put your hands on me." I mean, the kid appeared to be as big, but he looked even bigger to me than the driver did. I was actually surprised. I thought we were talking about a smaller child, but he
No.
conceivably, in some states, I think, what, it's 17, they could be charged as an adult for uh, assault.
But we heard the sad story.
Right,
That's fine.
right,
He's
and
in
then,
foster care,
correct,
mistreated. I
right,
get it.
right,
But you still cannot lay hands on an adult, and an adult most certainly should have just restrained.
right.
I'm sorry. I've got kids who are disabled. They hit someone, there's a consequence.
Um,
And no, the teacher better never lay their hand on my kid unless my child has a weapon that's about to hurt them. Like if my kid comes to school with something dangerous, I 100% say, "Yeah, knock my child out and get the weapon away."
well,
That's or run for safety
what
and
would
call
you
the
do?
cops.
What would you do in a case of Big Mike continually attacking? I mean,
Well, the
physically.
Big Mike is the kid. Big
I
Mike
know he
is the
is.
kid.
I
If it
know
was
he is. I'm
and
saying, what do you do if you're saying don't put the driver shouldn't put hands on unless he has a weapon? What if Big Mike continued to charge that person and hit them
that
repeatedly?
guy was big enough to be able to pin him down.
Okay.
Restraint. I've done this with a nephew who thought he was too big for his
I know
britches.
that's you, crazy B. Not everybody's like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you're working with special needs kids, they're supposed to teach you how to properly restrain them in an event like this. There was absolutely no reason for him to put his hands on him. Exactly, D. They always leave off what happens before 17 is no child. Again, I'm taking in for the
Crazy B.
consideration of mental
How do I get
impairments.
back?
Yes, you're here.
Mm-hmm.
D, you're here. You can't hear us, can you? Oh, here we go. Another tech day. So sorry, folks. Why are you calling someone? If she's calling someone, I'm going to mute her.
I'm on my podcast. What do you need?
Yep, I'm muting her. I'm sorry. I apologize. She will have to send me a message when she comes back. Actually, let me send her a message to send me a message. It's going to be one of those days, folks. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? But hold on, let me let her know. Okay. So I sent the message. So in this case, again, he went overboard. I'm one that stands with you only defend yourself enough to end the confrontation. You don't make an example of it. And It's just, it bugs me. And again, I have 2 kids on the autism spectrum, and my son is one, who could do some damage if it came down to it. Oh, why am I asking to unmute her?
Hello,
Oh, there you are. Can you hear me?
Crazy Bee.
Oh, Lordy. Let me send her a
This is
message.
lovely. Hello. What is up with this?
I just sent her a message in DMs. So, yeah, I have issues with this, the extent this driver went to. That was not self-defense at that point. And yes, terrible backstory, but kids shouldn't be putting their hands on adults either. You know, and again, I've had a rough life. My parents did foster care. I had a total of 15 or 16 foster siblings, even though it
Hello.
was my biological parents. We took
I'm
on
sorry.
foster kids. Oh, it's okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You know what? I'm gonna end up hurting people. You know that?
Please don't.
Nope. No, I'm tired of this bull crap. You know?
Well, it's really hard to do a podcast from jail, is my point.
Oh, that would be true. Okay, I'll try to control myself. All right, I apologize.
It's
I'll
okay.
control. All right. Go ahead, finish what you were
Mother,
talking about.
President Elon has a ketamine problem.
Okay. But I was pointing out is that I've lived with multiple foster kids, and they were all teenagers. My parents didn't take anyone under 14. Um, I've had we had kids live with us until they were aged out. So, yeah, foster care or not, you cannot put your hands on people. And I get, it's sad. But what that driver did was absolutely unacceptable as well. He had no right to go that far. One, you only defend yourself to enough to end the attack. Once that kid was on the ground, huddled in the seat with his hands over his face, you
But it
stop.
but it appeared to be like he got up out of his seat. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like he was down and then he got up out of his
Either
seat
way,
and went.
well, he got out of his seat initially, and then the aide or whoever he was basically beat him down to ground level.
And then he
You
stayed
don't need
down
to do that.
because. All right, so then the video looks like it's almost manipulated in a way to appear
Here,
as
let me
if
pull it
he.
up again.
Yeah.
Where's my notes? Let me pull this up again because I found it like really just, you don't have to continue once you've defended yourself. That's my point. Yes, you can have crackers, sweetheart. Go
Right.
right ahead.
What? No, I was wondering if you wanted some.
No, I don't need some, honey. I'm good, baby. I'm in the middle of a podcast. Okay, so I'm going to do a breakdown of this. I'm going to do a fight breakdown. How's this? Okay. Here we go.
Mom,
Fight breakdown.
Do you think that driver got from being the child?
We'll get to that in a little bit. Hold on. So, see, right here, he's hitting. He doesn't
I
need to.
don't see a video.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
You're
Hold on. Let me
swearing.
back this up.
Okay, that's $1 on the live. Go ahead.
I don't have $1. Anyways.
Oh, that's
Screen
right.
share.
We're $400 down. So okay.
Yeah. So, okay, as we see right here, the confrontation happens.
Okay, so back
He's
up.
hitting.
Wait, yeah, back up. That kid looks like he's bigger than the driver.
He is.
That's what. Yeah, and you said the driver was bigger than him, so you got
No,
big.
the driver could still take him down if he needed to. The driver's got the mass.
I don't know about that.
I do. I'm sure that
Well,
driver, the aide has the
hold on a
body
second.
mass to make it a fair fight.
Hold on a second. I want to mention that my husband's cousin was disabled, and he could punch a hole in the wall and he could take you down in a heartbeat.
Uh-huh. I
So
know.
I don't. So go ahead. Keep going.
But I do want to point out that this this aide on this bus is physically fit. You can see it. So let's even take that aside. Okay, so here's the confrontation. He hits him. He's hitting him. The kid falls.
Right.
He can, and now he could have walked away, but no, he continues.
That is not, you're not going to believe this, but that video is not what I saw in the beginning. It looked
Okay,
different. It looked different.
here's
Yeah.
from the very beginning. I'm going to play it at normal speed.
Okay.
There he is, hitting him.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
down.
You on
Stop.
video, cool?
That's where he should have walked away,
Right.
not stayed up in his face. Look at those arms. He's got biceps. Dude could have easily restrained him. He did not have to hit him with whatever the hell that is in his hand.
Yeah,
That's where the
Yeah.
assault comes in.
Correct. And that isn't what it appeared to be when the video first played on my end, at least. This looks like a different picture.
Yeah.
See, there's Ann talking. Now she can see that he went too far. Yeah, the first
Yes.
it came across kind of different when I saw a Crazy Bee. So this
Well,
makes
because
sense
it
then.
happened so fast and it was your first time seeing it.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was as fast. It appeared that Big Mike was went after him. We're good. It looks good now. Okay, so we'll leave it at
Yeah.
that.
But
Okay.
I think both are in the wrong. That the
Right,
kid should have gotten in some level of trouble too.
if
And
you
I
know,
don't give two shits about
right,
the disability part.
right, and
Disability or not, if you're capable of going to school and learning things, you're capable of learning about your behavior.
correct. And if you notice, he has a fist made right there toward
Yes,
yes. So he knows, I think, a little bit about what he's doing.
I do too. And
Okay,
this is again, I have disabled kids. I grew up around a family that did foster care. So I've met foster care kids with emotional problems and stuff. I
mhm,
lived with them. I have seen the meltdowns and the breakdowns and the fear of being adopted and the fear of being an adult. They literally are in total turmoil. My heart goes out to the kid for what his life has been like, but that does not give him the right to put his hands on anybody. And so I see this from multiple perspectives
right,
because of my life experience. So again, not trying to, justify the adult or the teenager, just pointing out I see a lot wrong with this, and this guy needs anger management. I'm just going to point that out too.
right,
Big guy
right,
right here, the instructor, totally needs anger management, or the teacher, and that kid definitely needs help too. So, yeah, I'm
now,
glad I did the breakdown,
right
frame by
now.
frame, basically.
Okay, so that's being now reposted after 2 years up on X. Now,
And nobody's
it-
pointing out that this is 2 years old.
right,
They're putting it out
and
as something fresh.
right, and I want to point two things out. Number one, and I don't want to get into this discussion right now because it can be held for something later that we're going to
And you're
talk
not
about.
feeling good.
No, it's going to be discussed at some point later. But when we talk race relationships, we always see a uh, white on black situation. This case, it is black on white. I don't know if that is why it's being brought back up. That's a possibility. But
It could be.
the second thing is, and we saw it earlier in the week, and this has really stuck with me. And I can't believe it's so old. It's over 100 years old. I went back and looked at his death, and
Uh-huh.
that was from what we heard about Mark Twain, and that
Yeah.
is who is shaking the jar of ants? Who is
Yep.
behind this and why? So again, start to question this stuff
Oh,
of
I'll tell you who posted this. Hold
right,
on. Give me 2 seconds. This has been posted by a Brandon Wilkinson. Let's
And
take a look at his profile. Trump supporter. 1 + 2 = 3. Wow. A Trump supporter didn't bother to tell anyone this video is 2 years old.
Right. So what is
I mean,
so you have to question the motive of why is it being done.
and then look at the comments.
Mm-hmm.
More
And
to
what
the story. Someone's got a good point there. Why did no one stop him? Oh
right?
no, his life would go on for years. I assured you. I
Mm-hmm.
assure you. I mean, we got all these comments. What the F is going on in America? 100%. Make this bitch ass punk famous. He's already in jail.
Right.
But these people don't know that.
Correct.
They're just responding to this video. And look at that one.
Yep.
But then I came across this one and they put a 2023 incident. Is anyone paying attention to this? No,
Mhm.
2 of us liked it and I reshared it in one comment. This is what happens when you go and you correct the false information on here. You get buried.
Yep.
Nobody sees it. No excuse. Severe accountability from the school. 23 people like that, but only 2 bothered to like the truth. This is 2 years old. Why is this being recirculated right now?
Reposted. Correct.
For the
Some-
clicks and views.
Yeah, my son just called it for the clicks and views.
Maybe there's something else going on.
I swear, and I say it. I see propaganda from the right and the left.
Correct.
If you are going to post something, double check your source. Do not just retweet these things. Make sure they're accurate. And where's
most people
community
don't.
notes? Where's
Right.
community notes telling people this is 2 years old?
Right.
This has had 297 likes. I bookmarked it only because I was going to use it today. But look at that. 101.1 thousand views.
It's view farming.
But it's inaccurate and it's false information. It's being used as propaganda. And this is right wing. And I see the left do the same thing. So I am here calling out the right as much as I am the left. Like I said I would from day one. When I see propaganda, I call it out.
Right.
This is right wing, just as bad as the left. So be aware. This is circulating again. And as much as I respect the Sarah Fields video that JJ pointed out, she is a good person. Her video was also from 2023. But tell you what, I had to dig to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Dee. She was on voice call with me when I was looking for the facts. This is what I mean by both sides are causing all kinds of problems right now.
Right.
And if I lose people because I'm calling out the right as much as I do the left, I'm not even going to apologize.
Well, that's our thing.
That's the whole point.
That's right. We're doing both right, left, and center. And
I just want the truth. I've got questions. I want answers. Here's the question was when, where, why, how.
And who?
Those are the ones we're taught in school. Who,
And
where, what,
who.
when, why, and how.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I went on a search. Okay, I had an emotional reaction when I first saw this. Like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
And then I went and dug into it. Find out it's 2 years old. Dude's already been arrested. Already been to court. I couldn't find the outcome, the verdicts of it. I was trying to find them, but no. All I find is how to do a background search on a person. Because the internet is flooded with a bunch of BS. So, yeah, I just want you guys to be aware. When you see something that pulls at your heart, double check. I don't care if it's from the right or the left. I don't care if you trust the person. Double check, because they might have been misled.
Right. And as you can hear, Crazy B is still crazy right now about this subject matter. But
I apologize, but it gets under
you're
my
fine.
skin when
I
people do
know.
this.
But and that's fine. That's the passion in her voice. And I guess when you get to these points and you have these types of reactions, emotional, what I was crying yesterday, I was crying, I think, the earlier in the
Yeah.
week. And when that happens, you have to step back for however long till you can regain your,
And
emotions, get
do
everything back in check.
research.
Right. And do some research on it. And most times you're going to be very surprised.
I was more pissed off than what I am now when I first saw the video, because what the hell is this person putting their hands on a disabled child for?
Hmm.
But then, like I try to do before I go and start blasting it, I go through the comments to see if anybody contradicts it. I do a
Right.
Google search. I
Right.
I check all aspects to find out evidently the kid put his hands on him first or was going to put his hands on him. That is a big kid.
Yes, it is.
Okay, big boy. That man had the right to defend himself, but he should have stopped at that point, like I pointed out.
Correct.
And then we get to the bigger question of who the hell decided to resurrect this as something new
Hmm.
and not do their background check on it. So, yeah, I'm going to call people out. This Brandon Wilkinson, he needs to be doing more research before making this look like it's today's date. This, for all I know, this happened 2 days ago or yesterday or even a couple of hours ago the way this is posted.
Well, there's many creators that do this type of tactics.
Yes.
So that, again, you need to pay attention to, if you can, what you're looking at. And from our audience perspective, if you ever come across something and you're not quite sure, you can join. In fact, Crazy Bee, I don't know if you have it available, but drop our Discord link in there, and feel free to come into the Discord and drop us a
Let me pull that
DM.
up really fast. Yeah,
Okay.
I know what you meant. I saw what you meant. And I just put this up because it was easier than fussing with the rest of it when you typed it. But yeah, they do it for more views, more
Mm,
likes, more
to
money,
make money. Exactly.
and it's unacceptable.
Right.
Plain and simple unacceptable.
And that's one
And
thing you,
I know it sounds
yeah.
weird, and I know I sound horrible for this, but again, I'm taking a neutral stance with with a life background in this stuff. So I'm comfortable saying that kid deserved what he got to a degree.
Hmm.
I am very comfortable with saying he had the right to that guy had the right to defend himself.
But
What he
once
did
he
not
was
have the right to do is
subdued,
keep going once it
right,
ended.
right. Once he was subdued, then it should have stopped. Plain and simple.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Okay, so
And
we have,
again,
you dropped the Discord link.
yes, I did
Where would that,
in both
YouTube and
what's
Rumble?
the
Okay.
word?
What's
YouTube.
the word?
Yes, thank
YouTube
you.
and
YouTube
Rumble. You
Rumble.
got it. And I
I'm
wonder
so
who are you?
sorry.
Who's sick here? You or me? Um,
I might be. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that shit.
but as I said, if there's anything that
If
any
ever you guys
suspect or
have
something, yeah,
questions,
yeah, something that
send
you
them.
see, yeah, send them our way and we'll investigate it. We're not
And
investigating. We'll look at it.
I'll
How?
do my best.
Yes, we'll do our best.
But we do have the channels set up where for questions that need answers, you can just drop it there instead of the general chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. Here's the bot telling everyone where to join right after I
So there
did
you
that.
go. Uh-huh.
Thanks, bot. You're about 2 minutes late.
Well, at least we know he's working, right?
The Rumble bot.
The
Yes,
Rumble
the
bot. There
Rumble
we
bot
go.
was working.
There we go.
Those bots
Cool.
are so hit and miss.
Yep.
And so I don't mind posting the links and stuff as we need them. But I
Okay.
will say, we've got to do something about this misinformation and this recycled old news trying to rile people up.
Right.
'Cause I'll
All
tell you,
right.
when I first saw this, I was on the phone with D when I saw this. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Holy shit, you're gonna be pissed."
Mm-hmm.
Then I go and did a little digging like I normally do. Oh, now I'm super pissed. Now I'm beyond super pissed.
Then
This
she
is
was
on the called
super,
for.
super pissed. Yeah, if you think that
The
she
one thing that pisses me off more than anything is propaganda,
right,
as you can tell.
right. And that's why she has the word crazy in front of her name. So
Well,
if you
that's
think
also because I was known as the crazy bitch for most
yeah,
of my life.
right.
Because I did crazy things and I believed crazy, well, still what people call crazy, but have proven to
Mhm.
be true. So yeah, I was known as crazy bitch or the crazy bitch or that crazy bitch. Take your
Well,
pick.
I wouldn't call you a crazy bitch. I might call you crazy sometimes, but not a crazy bitch.
Well,
But
that's
yeah.
because you've never seen me actually go into bitch mode, and it does happen. Oh no,
Mm,
I think you have seen me go into bitch mode with
yeah,
someone
I have.
before.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
It's okay. I can handle
Oh,
you.
I won't take it out on you. I never. Well,
I
here's
know.
that's the funny thing. As much as other people may piss me off, the surrounding people don't get any of it.
Mm-hmm.
I will never lash out at the wrong person. That's the nice thing about me.
Right.
If you've done something wrong, you're gonna know it. But anyways, I digress. I'm kind of going
Are
onto a
you done
side
now?
tangent.
Are you calmed
Yeah, I
down?
think I'm done now. We can go to the next topic.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's see what we got up. And I have no clue as like yesterday what.
Actually, you do because you sent this to me. It
Okay,
was
well,
something you wanted to talk about.
okay, let's see what it is.
There you go.
Oh, I can't stand it. Why did I even give it to you? Uh,
Because you told me to put it on for today, so I
I
did.
know, I know. I just have such an
I did
issue
exactly
with
what you
him.
asked.
I have such an issue with Mike Johnson. I just can't stand it. So he sent home all of the representatives because he he suffered a defeat. They blocked his plan to have proxy voting, and the proxy voting was only going to be for. I thought it was going to be for as they had previously done vote from home type thing, but no, all it is for, get this, pregnant mothers who are staying at home for like the first 3 months of the child with the child, and they want to be able to vote by proxy. He says no. Trump gets involved and says, well, Mike Johnson can run, the representatives the way he wants to, but I really don't see a problem with it. But I'm not going to get involved. So Trump stayed out of it. So Johnson suffers this defeat. And again, why did he send everybody home? It's Wednesday. We have work to do. And let me tell you what they didn't get done. So, Crazy B, if you want to move up there on the article,
Yes, ma'am.
do we have the video too?
Do I have the video?
There was a video that went with it. If not, I'll just,
Give me 2 seconds. Where
okay.
is it? Nope. This was it.
Okay. See, stuff gets lost in the air. Anyway, House Speaker Mike Johnson endured a divisive defeat Tuesday after he stayed an unusually aggressive effort to squash a proposal for new parents in Congress to able to vote by proxy rather than in person as they care for newborns. 9 of his own Republicans joined all Democrats in rejecting his plan, 206 to 222, in a dramatic vote. Now, of course, hold on. Please hold on, and I have to holler, people, so hold your ears. Eric, you have to go get Jacob. I apologize.
It's all
If,
good.
if not, he would be at the bus stop by himself. Sorry. Um, so, of course, the Democrats are going to, stay lockstep. And so 9 of the Republicans said no. It was a high-profile setback for the Speaker, who rarely exercises the power of his gavel in such a determined way as he did trying to prevent the bipartisan plan from two new mothers. One was Republican Anna Paulina Luna of Florida, and the other was a Democrat Representative Brittany Peterson of Colorado. So I find that unusual that we have uh, new mothers both on each side. He was very disappointed, Johnson said after the vote. He canceled the rest of the week's session, sending lawmakers home. He goes, "We'll regroup." What the heck does that mean? The outcome registered a sizable win for the moms and dads and others who supported them, who showed no signs of dropping their campaign as they forced the House to consider their proxy voting plan, which has support from a majority of the House colleagues. Some 218 lawmakers backed their effort, signing on to a so called discharge position to force their proposal on the House floor for consideration. "If we don't do the right thing now, it'll never be done," said Luna, who gave birth to her son in 2023. I hear snickering going on in the background. What's funny? JJ, I'm
JJ.
okay. JJ, I'm running double coverage in chats, ScrewTube and Rumble simultaneously in split screen mode on my mobile phone. I never
You're
tried
doing
split.
better than me.
Yeah, I never tried split screen on my phone. I can do it on my tablet pretty good.
Oh, I do it on my monitor all the time. I can have like 4 or 5
Yeah.
things lined up across my screen, my 2 monitors. Actually, I
o-
think I could have 8 open programs at the same time, running
All
both
right.
chats at the same. Oh, it's it put it twice.
Okay. You can read the next
Almost.
couple paragraphs. I don't want to drone on as we have a lot to do. Um,
Yeah.
But Johnson, like the GOP leaders before him, rails against proxy voting, which had been put in place for about 2 years during the COVID-19 lockdowns when Democrats had control of Congress, but has become a symbol for some Republicans as Trump pushes people back to work in the aftermath of the work from home trend. Now, the work from home trend, Trump said, as you know, I believe we talked about all the buildings that we're paying millions of dollars for that are empty. So
Yeah.
Trump says everybody returns to work. I'm not sure what the status of that is because before Biden left, that little son of a bee, he put forward they were working from home for the 2 years of COVID. They did not come back to work. Okay, when Biden got in, he still let them work from home. And then Biden negotiated a deal with the union that I believe gave them till 2027 to return to work.
Uh-huh.
And uh, so Trump is trying to force the issue. I'm not sure where that has headed. But then we still had the uh, Congress being able to vote from home. That still was
Yeah.
being permitted to do. So that was an issue. So what's up after that paragraph, crazy?
Um a little bit more. Do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Says, "Look, I am a father. I am pro-family," said Republican Speaker. The Republican Speaker said last month. "I believe it violates more than 2 centuries of tradition and institution, and I think it opens Pandora's box. Where ultimately maybe no one is here. It's the first time in modern House history that leadership was taking the extraordinary step to try to halt and discharge petitions when it's this far along. Next steps next steps are uncertain." Luna used the discharge petition process as she and others grew frustrated that House committees and party leaders were not bringing the proxy voting proposal forward. Instead, she and others gathered the majority signatures needed, 218, to discharge it from limbo and force it to the floor for action. At a Rules Committee hearing early Tuesday, the GOP led panel tucked a provision into the routines routine rules process that would have prohibited not just this discharge petition, but any others that try to push proxy voting forward. Rep Jim McGovern of Massachusetts, the top Democrat on the panel, called it a remarkable move from Republicans who often campaign as the parties aligned with family values. Given the chance to actually support families, they turned their backs. A majority of the chamber is upending what the majority of this chamber wants. Republicans countered that Luna, who led the discharge effort, did not go through the regular process of waiting for their resolution to be brought to the floor through normal procedures. And they criticized the temporary proxy voting policy that Democrats put in place during the pandemic that they said was abused by members' absences. And we know this because we've seen the videos of our politicians voting by proxy from a frickin' yacht.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I can understand, again, if you're at home taking care of the baby, this, that, the other, family emergency situation, yes. But to continuously do this
Well,
nonstop, even
but I
though
have
we're no longer under
okay.
regulations, is
All right.
BS.
Finish the article, and then I have an
Yeah.
issue with that to begin with. Go ahead.
You have to come to work. You have to be present, said Representative Ralph Norman of South Carolina during a committee debate. Representative Fox of North Carolina, the chair of the Rules Committee, decried what she calls the laptop class in America. In America, that doesn't have the luxury of working by proxy. Members of Congress simply need to show up for work. I agree. But then again, we've seen them at work on the floor scrolling on their phones
Okay.
during a
Oh, all
debate
right. All
instead of
right.
listening.
All right. Finish the
Anyway,
article, then you can.
about a dozen women give birth while in Congress over the years. And there are many new fathers as well. One representative, Wesley Hunt, out of Texas, had dashed back to Washington for votes in 2023 after his wife had just given birth to their son and was in intensive care. He should have been allowed
Bah,
to
bah,
go
bah,
by
bah, bah,
proxy.
bah. Keep going.
Many new and existing parents were among the 8 other Republicans, all men, many of them younger lawmakers, who joined Luna to push ahead past the leadership. Luna's petition opens the door for the House to vote on a resolution that would allow new parents serving in Congress to designate a proxy, another member of Congress, to vote on their behalf for 12 weeks. Makes sense. Republicans had barred proxy voting once they took control of the House from Democrats in 2023 when Speaker McCarthy made a public priority of reopening the House chamber. The new resolution, which included specific procedures on how the new parent would deliver their voting instructions, would mean a change in the House rules. It's raining here again. Damn it. The resolution from the mothers allow proxy voting for lawmakers who give birth or pregnant lawmakers who are unable to travel safely or have serious medical conditions. It also applies to lawmakers whose spouses are pregnant or giving birth. Under resolution, qualifying lawmakers may designate a proxy cast vote to cast a vote for them for up to 12 weeks. Luna, who is among the House's more conservative lawmakers, made headlines for her steadfast support of Trump, but she resigned this week from Ancro
Arc,
Arco
arc
Arc Conservative,
conservative House Freedom
sorry,
Caucus. That's okay.
saying she could no longer be part of the group if members broke backroom deals against its values.
You know,
Now,
this is really, I pulled this article, but this is really a piss poor written article. We go,
it
we go
is.
from, yeah, we go from he suffers a defeat to we're all over the place. So I apologize for that. There was a video that went with this where he was
Let me
complaining.
see if I saved the video.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why I can't find it.
the issue here first is why did he send them home? Okay, It's bad enough there was the SAVE Act that they didn't do. There was some legislation regarding, I believe immigration was involved in there. There was, there was the, they met and decided how they were going to handle the left leaning judges that are against Trump. So there's all this legislation that needs to be put forth. There's all this work to be done. I've mentioned previously, why are they not taking every single executive order that Trump has signed and run it through the process? Why? And then he's going to send them home for what? Oh, I get another, 4 or 5 days off. For what? We're paying for this stuff. I want your ass in the seat. I want you there. I want you working. Just because you're what, a 2-year-old because you didn't get your way and you're banging your gavel. That's bullshit. I've never heard of such a.
Found another article, not a video.
That's okay. We don't need another article. Um,
It's the one you sent. But it seems to be that Representative Luna was the one
there
who
was another.
wanted to push this
Yeah,
through.
and there was another one too that wanted to push it through as well. What I find,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there's probably something in the rules that we're not familiar with. In most cases, other companies, when you take off on maternity leave, you're gone for those 3 months. You don't get to
Yes.
participate in work activities. You don't get to cast a vote or a ballot or.
You're not at the office meetings.
Exactly. There are some places, for example, I told you, JJ was just born a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks on Saturday. His mother, who works for a major healthcare facility, do you want to know what they did to her? They completely took everything off of her. Everything. There's no way for her to communicate with her workers unless she had their personal information that she could talk to them. Everything that she does on the
She
computer, her
cannot access the work
no
files.
access. Everything is gone. She has no access to it. So she
They
comes back.
locked her ID out so she
Hmm.
cannot work and she can focus on her family. So, why do our politicians not have the same benefits?
And I'm not
Or
sure. Right.
I think even if they are working from home during maternity, they should at least have the right to vote by proxy. And like again, the representative whose wife was in intensive care and he has to rush back to frickin' Washington. Hold
Right.
up. There's got to be some give. But if you're a regular healthy person and you're taking a vacation on a fucking yacht, tough shit. Get your ass back to the office.
Right. I mean, I don't.
So,
I don't
yeah.
understand that whole. Uh, why they are still permitted to do that. I don't understand. Well, I do understand,
Yeah.
but it's not. I don't believe it's right that we're paying these salaries and they are not. I want you at work, the same way where these bills are being, all lumped together. Each bill should go down the floor by itself,
One
presented
at a
by
time.
itself. Yep, one at a time. Line them up. Why do we get to have things that are held and these backdoor meetings are held and stuff isn't being brought forward? For example, Nancy Pelosi, and we'll get into this next week about insider trading. Why was that never brought forward? Well, we know why, but there's so much out there and the work is not getting done. So we're all going into it's going to be May and June, 6 months of this year is going to be up. And there's all these executive orders that Trump did. And why wasn't anybody
Mhm.
ready to roll this up front? The tax cuts, the illegal immigration, all of it. So
Yeah.
my concern isn't what Trump is doing, what Musk is doing. 2028, well, 2026 is coming soon. What is the effect on voting then for the candidates? But in 2028, everybody's like, oh, Vance is a shoo-in. Is he? And if a Democrat gets in, what happens then? All the executive orders go bye-bye, and we're back to where we were when Biden was in.
Do
We
you
need
know when we originally started this country and went with we started going with the party system, whoever was president, the runner up or the opposing person became vice president.
Mhm.
So you had a president of one party, your vice president from another party.
That actually makes sense.
Mhm. I
Why
mean,
did why did we get rid of that? That
Idiots.
well then again,
Why do we have the party system in the first place?
exactly.
It wasn't supposed to be that way. My son chiming in with his 21 years of actual wise intelligence. I love him. He's very intelligent. But again, we have a system that is designed to keep us in this pendulum swing of extremes.
and
I want to point that out.
right. So that was just a absolutely ridiculous um
For
occurrence
them
to
to push that bill,
right.
and it's not even a serious matter. Why
Right.
are they pushing that when we could be going after, hey, all those people who are getting kickbacks from USAID?
Mhm.
Where's the investigation into that?
Yeah, where's any of it? This is the frustrating part. This is when I could get extremely angry and well, I am mad. But
You have a right to be.
nothing is being done about it, and that's the problem. Um
And Mike Johnson's like, bye.
I told you I can't there's something about him when they since the beginning there is I'm going to tell you, I consider him to be just, he talks about his religion and Christ being in his life and that which drives him, blah, blah, blah. And, I just call him a Bible thumping rhino.
He is from the Bible Belt
Yeah, well,
region. So
he's a Bible thumping rhino. That's how I feel about him. I think he's a backstabber. He doesn't get really anything accomplished and I'm sick of it. I want shit done, and I want it done
we all
before
do.
28. I want it done. And, if you don't want to do it, get people in there that will. And we had the discussion,
Bingo.
you know, everybody's like, oh, well, put your money where your mouth is, but you go do it. You know what? I would go do it. I don't have the finances to get my ass there to keep myself to have an apartment or do whatever.
Yeah.
How does
Ugh.
an average person without sponsorship who, I'm sure people in the
You're
audience
never going to get into Congress unless you've got
that
money to back
yep,
you.
exactly, just the same way with the senators. Like out of I live in Pennsylvania, we'll leave it at that. My congressman is Fetterman and Casey. When Fetterman came in, he was up against Oz, okay? And
Yeah, that was a bad one. No
yeah,
matter what.
well, right. And they're looking to have Oz be in charge of Medicare. So they're trying to
Oh,
put, yeah,
fuck.
because of his background, he's being put up to be the, whatever they're called, the director of Medicare. Um,
Medicaid, Medicare.
he's being put up to be in charge of that. So we had Fetterman and Oz. Now, there are millions of people that live in this country. There are millions of people, several million, that live in Pennsylvania. And you mean to tell me they were the two best candidates? Fetterman ran a city into the ground. He was accused of, well, he didn't. He actually did it. Carried a rifle and tried to almost assault somebody. Oz
Hmm.
only moved in to try to become a senator, and he moved into his parents' home near Philadelphia. And they're the
Yep.
two best people in they're the two best that we have to put
That's
forth.
sad.
Yeah, and then Fetterman suffers, what appears to be, I believe, uh,
It was a
one
major stroke.
he had a stroke, but he also suffers prior to that from anxiety issues. He was hospitalized. So, are you kidding me? And you wonder why shit doesn't get done? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And why I'm not, and why it's so frustrating. And then don't get me
Yeah.
started on our representatives. The person, uh, I don't want to get into too much detail, but the person that I have has been financially backed because his family has been in politics for years. So they have the money to do it. And
It's unacceptable.
it, it, it truly is. But um, I digress from all of that. And there's many stories to tell as we go along. But I want shit done. So why he sent them home was, if he thought that that was a punishment, he's sorely mistaken, because he didn't give them any homework to do.
No, of course
And
not.
right. And then the article just takes off in a totally different direction. I apologize for that. It's very poorly written. Um, but again, I don't know what rules or uh, any amendments or anything that are written that talks about that, uh, as far as having a proxy. So that would, I would say, have to be looked at. I don't care, as a HR, uh, former HR executive and professor, I would tell you that my stance on all of this is, if you're having a baby, if you want to be the dad that stays at home or whatever, you're on maternity or paternity leave, and that's it. As far as the vote goes, that's probably wherein lies the problem. Because if I say to you, you're maternity or paternity, and you don't get to do anything, then that you lose the vote. You
Yeah.
about a vote. So that could be where the issue is and why they want the proxy. So
Yeah.
that's the problem. All right. So we both each had a passionate argument there. Um, were
Yes.
we were we going to show? Or are we saving that for later? Oh, you know what?
Which
We could,
one?
the one with the three little jar things. We could put that. Uh, we'll hold them off. You
Yeah,
know,
hold that. We can hold off
Yeah,
on that.
yeah, because we could put them elsewhere in something that we're going to do. So let's hold off on them unless we
Yeah.
get to the end and we can show it. All right, what do you got up next, Crazy B?
That one inspirational video you sent, but
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna struggle to read this. It's gonna be
okay,
hard for me to read it. I
I'll
don't know
look at
if you can see it.
can see it. And just so you guys know, remember Fridays is effed up Friday, so that's where we're at. We were saying it was follow up Friday, but today, since we're both like crazy, we're calling it effed up Friday. That's where we're at today. So if you, uh, we can't do the music, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
So I've
so
got it muted.
this was just pieces that we both come across that seem to touch us in some way, or that we want to share a message with you. You take it for what it's worth. You might get something out of it, you might not, but please be respectful. Interruptions, I apologize.
It's all
So
right.
this one came across, it has some beautiful music attached, and you'll put that in the
The
description,
link is in
correct?
the
And it'll
description.
have the
It will
music
be in the
playing with it.
description when we're done. Yep.
Is that
They
correct,
can
Crazy
listen to
B?
the music. Yes.
Tell me I'm out of this, honest to
Hello?
goodness.
Log out and come back in. I hope she can hear me. Welcome to Tech Days. She'll be back, and then I'll hit play. Not that there's really much to hit play for. It's just the message. The audio is really good. So, I'll drop the link when we're done in the description, and you guys can listen to the music with it.
You can't make this up.
No, you cannot. I'm not even going to
Mm,
hit play because it's just the same message carried across for the 7 seconds.
okay. Did you read it?
No, I figured I'd wait till you got
Okay,
here.
okay,
JJ
and
sending LOLs.
thank you. This is just too funny. Here's me talking, and I'm like, no answer. When we don't play the music to something crazy B and you put it in the description and they want to look at it, does the music go with it? Or does the
Yeah,
music okay,
it's just the link to the video on YouTube.
okay,
They can
that's
go
cool.
watch it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yep,
So there's some music that was like, I don't know, I was just feeling it. But anyway, if you want to go listen to it with the music, it'll be in the description that Crazy B will have out there. So it says, know that if you're going to spend time worrying about the worst case scenarios, it's only fair to spend time considering the best case scenarios. This shift in superior mentality, your mindset, is a game change. And that really is another kind of one of those that speaks to you. We often spend time in that worst case scenario mode. This, what if this happens? Oh my God, what are we going to do? This is going to happen, that's going to happen. Try to have a shift in your mentality and your dynamics and just try to flip the script and think what the
yep,
positive could be. And that doesn't mean that it's going to happen, trust me. But if you try to have that more positive outlook, that negativity that we always play in the back of our head, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I can't do that. Try to flip the script. And if you say something negative, work on trying to flip it and make it a positive. That's all. And with that, good luck. And I hope you get something out of it. File that with our, who's shaking the jar shit. So
yes.
we're going to try to have a little bit of that on our Freak Dot Fridays, whatever you want to call it. And again, anybody has anything of value there that they value, send that our way. We're waiting
Yep.
for you to fill up our Discord. All right, what you got?
Um, Next is a video. Think I have it available.
You
Whoops,
think
I
you
forgot to transition. Shit. Hold on. There we go. Um, Let me grab it if I can find it. Because I have so many videos for upcoming things. Okay, I do not see it. So what I'll do is I will play it. Oh, nope, there it is. Got it. Ha. All right. See, I'm getting
my
there.
whole
I'm getting
just so
there.
you know, my whole screen is lit up big. I forgot to hit the button, but now it's big. Uh-oh. Text Peach? Where am I going? Who's Peach? And what
Nope, we're gonna hit play.
oh,
That's just
okay.
a commercial.
I was thinking that
So,
maybe Peach was like, "Ooh, baby." Okay, go ahead.
oh no, where's the? Oh, it's still muted. Oh my god, dumbass me. There we go. Let's hit play.
Says he lost his job after voting against the contentious package of tort reform bills.
Well, what happened next was an emotional moment on the House floor. Democrats rallying behind their Republican counterpart. Atlanta News First investigative reporter Anastasia Olmos spoke to Representative Smith about the vote that he says cost him his livelihood.
You won't believe the calls and the texts I've had. Wow, it's amazing. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Georgia Representative Vance Smith choked up as he addressed the House chamber Tuesday morning.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord.
Just days prior, the Harris County Chamber of Commerce board chair Teresa Garcia Robertson fired the Republican representative from his day job as the CEO.
My vote wasn't taking the chamber in the direction that they wanted to go, and therefore we'd have to part ways. It was very negative effect on my wife and my family.
Did you know that your vote would affect your personal life?
Didn't have a clue. No clue.
Smith voted against SB 68, known as Georgia Governor Brian Kemp's tort reform plan, with the goal of curbing liability lawsuits that result in large insurance payouts. Rep. Smith said he supported the bill but had questions.
Will this bill entice companies to come back to Georgia? Will it ease the fears of companies that are here in Georgia?
The bill spent more than a month in the General Assembly with amendments in the Senate and the House. Smith says he voted no.
I think I'll vote no now so we can work on that bill some more.
It passed the House 91-82 and the Senate the next day. Garcia Robertson, who fired Smith, is the wife of one of the bill's sponsors. Some have asked Smith if this was retaliation for his vote.
I honestly will not speculate.
Garcia Robertson told Atlanta News First Investigates in a statement that they don't comment on personnel matters, but hold Vance in high regard personally.
My position here is very important to me. I want to do the best job I can, and we've got to use our minds to decide whether it's right, but you know in your heart whether it's right, so let's do that.
Now, in a statement, House Majority Whip James Burchett said numerous members have suffered threats to their livelihoods and independence because of their votes on this bill, Senate Bill 68. We should hold legislators accountable for their votes at the ballot box, not by taking aim at their ability to support their families. And we also reached out to the Senate press office for a comment from Senator Robinson. We are still waiting to hear back. I'm Anastasia Olmos, Atlanta News First Investigates.
Let's stop. Why is it? Why are we being stupid? My computer. Okay, so I like that the Democrats were showing equal support to the poor guy. And it's not right that he got kicked out of his job as a CEO because he did what was right. He stood up against corruption and ended up losing his job. And now he's stuck just living on the income of a a local politician.
See, that's some of the risk that you take almost anywhere if you take a stance on what is right. Right?
Yeah.
Oftentimes that happens, and that's why many people don't do that, because they're afraid of what could possibly happen. You know, not only just lose their job, but lose loved ones, family, friends, other types of things. And it takes, I think, special people to stand up and say, look here, this is the right
It's
thing
not
to
happening.
do. Right. And
Yeah.
he suffered the repercussions. And when you see things like that happen, that kind of sends a message to everybody else, right?
It
You know,
does.
shut up, do what you're told, or can happen to you. And remember, he was the CEO. He wasn't
Yeah.
he just wasn't the secretary or the, tech support person or, another type of manager. He was the CEO
Nope.
of the company.
Exactly. And that's what's really devastating.
Hmm.
That's how he supported his family, because being a politician does not pay well.
Nope. Well, if you're in Washington, maybe it does. So,
Well, yeah, but they use insider trading.
okay, what do you got next?
A video where they are fighting about Medicaid,
Oh my gosh.
taxpayers paying for abortions, basically, which is ironic that Arby has a list of people he wants post-birth abortions. Are you still there, Dee?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. You know
Okay.
what?
It's funny because in the
I
comments, Arby had just posted about wanting to submit a list of names for post-birth abortion that he'll
okay.
pay for. And here
Mhm.
is a video talking about taxpayers having to pay for abortions and the fight against it.
I apologize for the interruptions today.
Oh,
People obviously do
it's
not know.
life.
Yeah, people do not know what the uh, do not disturb between 3 and 5 p.m. means. I apologize. That's 4 times now today.
Yeah. But you know what? It's also part of life. And if it's important, take it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here's play. Let's listen to this craziness.
This is a case with major financial implications for Planned Parenthood, and it's one many on both sides feel strongly about. This was the scene outside the court. hundreds of protesters standing shoulder to shoulder with their signs and worship music. Inside, lawyers making their case to justices in Medina v. Planned Parenthood, South Atlantic.
They decided that Planned Parenthood was unqualified for many reasons, chiefly because they're the nation's largest abortion provider.
The question at hand, does a state have the power to determine where Medicaid dollars can and cannot be spent? The defendants say yes, because not allowing South Carolina that authority infringes on states' rights.
Sorry. D. Arby says you need to list those people, add those people to his list of post-abortion,
Okay.
post-birth abortion.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The family planning provision, which comes right after the language at issue, confirms that this is a protected choice. The state, quote, shall not restrict the choice.
In its lawsuit, Planned Parenthood says patients should have the right to choose where they go for Medicaid-covered family planning services. Their list includes breast and cervical cancer screenings, birth control, and testing and treatment for STDs. It does not, however, list abortion.
Planned Parenthood is the abortion giant in the nation. While it does provide minuscule services to the effect of mammograms or ultrasounds or high blood pressure checks, we know that 80% plus of the work that it does is in the abortion industry.
Sarah Parshall-Perry with the Heritage Foundation tells CBN News all 9 justices are considered textualists, which will likely determine how they weigh this case.
So every one of them is going to look to the plain language of the Medicaid Act, something that clearly prohibits abortion and does leave to the states at their discretion determination of what constitutes a qualified provider of any medical service in the state.
And indeed, one of the biggest sticking points in court came over the word right, and if an individual has the right to choose a provider.
It would allow the regulated entity, here a state, to define the scope of the alleged right it is not allowed to violate by deciding which providers are qualified.
The Alliance Defending Freedom, representing Medina and South Carolina, arguing the word right does not apply in this case. Liberal-leaning justices pushed back.
The obligation is to ensure that individuals can choose their doctor.
Planned Parenthood is not about abortion. It's about women's health and women's health care.
I'm here because
I'm going to point out, when I got pregnant, we had Medicaid. I did not go to Planned Parenthood for medical treatment. They had a list of providers who did a very wonderful job. I'm wondering why people would go to Planned Parenthood when there's much better providers available.
I mean, we know the fight that has gone on with Planned Parenthood, and I do not recall off the top of my head the stats if she's correct on 80%. If that's true, that's awfully high, and that would, I think, then
they're killing more babies than they're delivering.
Right, I understand.
I want to point that out.
Well, they don't deliver babies, though.
No, they still send you to a hospital where a different doctor delivers your baby. So what's the point in going there?
Right. Then the other issue is if each state gets to determine how to spend those dollars, so what if Colorado decides that we're going to spend money on abortion, but California says, no, we're not. Does that mean that we're going to have that traveling issue where, the California woman's going to drive to Colorado to get the abortion?
Good question.
And then that also has to do with, I don't know how the Medicaid works. For example, if you have regular health insurance, I'm not permitted to, unless I pay extras, an exorbitant amount, to travel out of state to get health care.
Mm-hmm.
So would you be prohibited in the state that you live in with Medicaid to travel to another state to get care?
And again, your insurance won't cross over. You're going to have to pay cash.
Right.
And again, what if it's, again, medical necessity is covered. If it's a medical necessity, it will be covered.
Right.
It's just
And I find that interesting, but do you go to Planned Parenthood for medical necessities? I don't think so.
no.
You're a
And I went to a
doctor.
regular obstetrician. I went to an
Right,
OBGYN for both of
right,
my pregnancies, and
right,
Medicaid covered it. There was
right.
no need for me to go to Planned
Planned
Parenthood.
Parenthood, correct.
People go to
Right,
Planned Parenthood because they aren't planning before they go and do things,
right.
and now they're trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
No, like, okay, I get it, but why is abortion the main thing that people go there for? Because a regular physician says it's not a medical necessity, sorry.
Well, they don't want to have the child. That's the problem.
Well, then you get some ways to prevent having the child.
Well, we've had
Those are free. Those
we
are provided elsewhere. But
we
yet
could do
people keep coming back for abortion after abortion, and something's not right with that. What is wrong with our culture? And again, I get it. Old that Margaret Sanger,
Yep,
who created Planned Parenthood,
yep.
was a eugenicist.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wrong there.
Um, we can probably take a look at that as well as have a discussion regarding
Dear clump of cells with oh my god, Arby, I can't even read that without getting in trouble. Oh my god.
um
But he's right. If you've ever watched the documentaries on her,
yes, she's a piece of
it was
work.
a horrible woman.
Mm-hmm.
I used Planned Parenthood for birth control. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
They should be pushing preventative instead of, oh well, let's destroy your uterus for when you do want a kid. You're gonna have a miscarriage.
right. So did I at the age of I guess I was either 19 or 20 and didn't
Hmm.
know where to go to. And that's where I first started birth control pills.
But that was back
And
before they suggested abortion as a solution.
yeah, because back then, and I'm not dating myself, but back then, if you wanted, I can remember my mother going with somebody to New York City, and I don't know if it was a back alley abortion or not, but she went up to stay with her at a hotel overnight for like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so the woman could
Hmm.
have an abortion. So, obviously, different states were doing different things, and that's what makes me think in this case, I don't know. They have abortion back, so what's the difference with Planned Parenthood? But let's wait and see maybe till we get the results from the Supreme Court when they lay
Yeah,
down.
but I just
Okay,
wanted to bring this up. We don't even got to finish this. It's just,
right.
to bring up the
Okay,
point, because now we're at just the people arguing back
correct.
and forth.
Right. So we'll put
But
that. That can be up for a future
a
discussion. We'll have
follow up.
yeah, follow up to that once the Supreme Court's puts their ruling down.
Yep.
Okay, what do you
Next
got?
thing
What you
I
got
want to
next?
cover is the stupidity of our nation. This comes from libs of TikTok, who I like sometimes, not all the time. Um, Let me enlarge this if I can get this to work right. There we are. And let me, oops, hold on. I'm having troubles with my hands. Be patient with me, folks. Um,
Anything that occurs would be on our end. It's called user error. So whatever.
no, it's called My Hands Hate Me.
Okay.
And yeah, 'tis life. So, Sandy Stone is the first transgender woman inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame.
I can't stand it.
Oh, and look at this woman.
Uh
Yeah.
huh. I really can't stand it. Oh my God. Oh, help us. Please let us pray. We're having a let us pray time thing.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yes, seriously.
Into the Women's Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Why? Because again, out of the whole mother effing country, there's no other person There's no other woman than this dickhead, exactly what I said, that is representing women. Wow, that's
Yep.
messed up. What is wrong with us? We are messed up.
Yeah. Oh, no, it gets better. Wait till you see the next
Oh,
one. Hold
no,
on. Let me
please
just jump
don't.
right into the next one.
Please
Hold
don't.
on. Oh, no, watch this.
No, I don't wanna.
Oh, no, this one actually, got on my nerves.
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Programming today happens when I'm off sick. So, oh my gosh, I can't
Let me
stand.
share this one instead. Give me 2 seconds as it loads.
Oh no. Help us.
Pause this.
I'm just an
Share this
audience
tab.
member.
Okay, let me explain this.
Go
This
ahead.
small woman right here
Yeah.
is about to get disqualified because this is not a woman that she's supposed to fence with. Watch this nut. They wanted this smaller woman to fight a trans woman in a fencing match, which she would have definitely lost to.
Okay, pause that a second. Okay.
She gets disqualified over this.
Right. Is this the one where hold on a minute. I'm beside myself on this shit.
You're not alone.
This is just totally unacceptable.
And this person, by the way, was on the men's team last year.
I was gonna.
On the
That's what
women's
I was.
team this year.
My brain has been trying to formulate that sentence. I apologize. This is the one where he was a male and fenced on the men's team last year, right? And is now a female and is on the female team. Is that correct?
Yep.
What? How? Why?
And she's supposed to fight him.
Right. Okay, so why can't, okay, so, all right. If we're going to go down that route, isn't this the same as the swimming person? I can't think of her name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Thomas.
okay,
Something
and
Thomas.
Leah Thomas. And didn't he swim on the men's team previous to joining the women's team and then blew them out of the water, correct? All right, so why can't we put a rule in that says, if you're a male and you want to transition to female and you want to participate in sports, you have to wait 3 years, 3 years till 2 to 3 years till you can get on a team. How about that? If we're
How
going to
about
force,
just have an entire team for people who are trans to fight each
well,
other or play
that's what
against
I want
each
to
other?
do. Have a trans bathroom, have a trans you know what I mean? Create a separate category. I can't stand this. This is
This
totally
isn't fair to her.
No, it isn't.
This young woman this is the US fencing tournament. She worked her ass off to get here. And what do? They put her against someone who was on the men's team last year.
Oh man, it's a good thing she
There's
took
no
the
way
knee.
he's been on estrogen long enough to weaken his muscles. Not that it works.
Because that would be stupid.
She's got a sword in her hand. Man, that's
It's
kind
a
of
well, it's a
fencing. I
practice
know,
sword.
but
It's not a
if
real
it
one.
if it
Otherwise,
could, yeah, but if it could,
it can still do harm. But the fact is, it's not even about getting hurt. He's going to have faster reflexes. He's going to be able to overpower any
right?
parries and
No, I'm
blocks.
just saying that I wish that she could have struck him. You know what I mean? Like
I get it, but
that's
it
all I'm
doesn't work
saying.
that way.
I just can't stand it. This is here's another. I'm telling you, I don't know why I'm getting these here's another one we got to dig in. This is 3 things now this week I'm digging my heels in on. Okay? This is freaking bullshit and I thought this was going to be stopped. Didn't Trump stop all this shit?
Yes, and by this point, as an adult, muscle development is already set in
That's
place.
correct. That is
And like
correct.
Arby was saying, it doesn't matter how long they've been on these meds, they still have the advantage as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that does not mean I support going after kids, because there's a whole long list of reasons that's not supposed to happen. But because I'm not a medical provider, YouTube gets mad at me when I talk about it. So
Right. So we better, yeah, let's move
I
on
was a
on
medical
that.
assistant.
What
Yes.
else you
So
got?
that's what I'm pulling up because we've got 15 minutes. Oh, Charlemagne being a douchebag.
Okay.
Yes, I think I have this one even saved. Let me see if I can find Charlemagne being a douche. Yep, here it is.
Who's Charlemagne?
Oh, Charlemagne the God. He's a whatever the hell.
He is not. Do not even call. Don't even. He's called Charlemagne. He is not. Yeah. He does
Yeah,
not
this
get that.
guy.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, right now he's about to defend Jasmine Crockett's remarks and behavior.
Let's hear.
She did get into a little trouble for some recent comments about the Texas governor, Greg Abbott. And to appreciate this next clip, all you need to know is he's a far
Whoops, why'd it pause?
right bigot who happens to use a wheelchair.
We in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess.
Hey, man, when they go low, Jasmine slashes the tires on their wheelchairs, okay?
So he downplays it and makes a joke about it. Hey, Brent. My name is
Brent.
Leonard Oh, his name is Leonard McClevey, but he thinks he goes by Charlemagne the God. He's a
You're
dumbass.
kidding. Is that his real name, Leonard?
Right here. Brent's got it.
Wow. I would never call him Charlemagne the God. I would never give him that courtesy. Ever.
Yep. I wouldn't. Yep.
This is crazy.
Oh, hold on. We got a full name right here. Leonard Larry McClevey.
Oh, that's good. That's cute.
It's an Irish last name.
Yeah, that's crazy. We'll have some additional content on our girl Jasmine, so I think
Yep,
you'll
but
like
I just
what we're
wanted to
gonna
play that because
that
dude's
we
a
have
douchebag.
prepared. JJ says muted or something. Who's muted?
Uh-oh. Did the audio not come through to you guys?
I hear you.
No, I'm talking with the
chat.
Yeah.
Well, let's try what do you got next, and we'll see if we get any message.
We'll make this is a quick one. So whoops. I will run through it. I hope the video came through. If not, he's just being a douchebag, so it doesn't make a difference. I gotta swap out the footage for this next one. This chick blew my mind, and I don't know how or why this kind of stuff even happens, but it does. Pizza delivery driver stabs a customer 14 times because she was angry over a $2 tip. Listen to this shit.
Good morning, ma'am. Please state your name.
Brianna Alvelo. At 22 years old, Brianna Alvelo could spend the rest of her life behind bars. She's accused of making a pizza delivery turn violent.
State believes that this is a punishable by life offense. There should be no bond set, and it should not be set for a pretrial detention hearing.
Osceola County Sheriff's Office says on Sunday evening, someone staying at the Rivera Motel in Kissimmee ordered pizza. Detectives claim Alvelo delivered the pizza to the person, but she was not happy with her tip.
I do find that there is probable cause.
Investigators say Alvelo came back to the motel room, this time with a man who had a gun. They say the two of them forced their way into the room, and then Alvelo used a knife to stab the victim several times.
And I've never heard of nothing like that. I have 3 kids, but it's good to know because
she had time to finish the delivery, go pick someone up, and then come back.
So,
over a $2 tip? Bitch, get over it.
I was taught that the word several meant 3 or possibly 4. And you have the media downplaying. She said several times. 14 times is not several.
It's too many. Multiple. Beyond.
Now I
More
have a
than a dozen
question, and
is
I'm
a
not
better
trying to
wording.
be. Yeah, I have a question, and I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but I'd like to know if, given her accent, is she an illegal alien? Do we know?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
think she is.
Okay.
She's probably American-born, spoiled brat.
Well,
Is
she
what I would go
sounds,
with.
yeah.
Because
She
most
has a.
people who are here illegally wouldn't, or again, let's say illegally here or here as a migrant worker, they're not killing anyone over a $2 tip unless they're the criminal type.
No, they're just running them over and robbing
Yeah.
them and all other kind of shit. That's why I'm asking the question. I don't know where what's
No,
going
they
on
said she
here.
came back with the guy. She
Right.
said she came back with a guy.
With
So
a
she
gun.
left, went and got someone
Who had a
to
gun.
back her up.
Right.
To do this. And it's not even done.
Mm-hmm.
Reasonable question based on the accent. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that was with her could have been illegal. That's a
Correct.
possibility too.
Right.
So, but there's still more. Listen to this. It wasn't just that she stabbed him. There's more.
I'll always be aware.
The woman is also accused of stealing things from the room. She is facing charges of home invasion, attempted murder, kidnapping, and aggravated assault.
That goes to show you don't trust nobody, no matter where they are.
Deputies are looking for the armed man who was with Alvelo.
Wait, they said man. Now they're saying the armed men. I'm confused. Was it more than one guy or just one guy with her?
Schrodinger's man.
Schrodinger's man? Really?
Either there's one of them or there's multiple of them.
I love my son. So, yeah, this nonsense happened.
That's crazy.
Over a two. What if the guy couldn't afford more than $2?
Exactly.
He might not have been able to afford it. He's in a fucking motel room. Sorry. That's me
All
losing
right.
my patience.
What you
But,
got next?
well, I figure we got only 8 minutes left. We can go ahead and just kind of wrap up for the day.
Well,
So
why
we
don't we?
late.
Do you have the picture of the 3 pieces?
Yes, I can pull that up.
Why don't we just? This will be the start of a conversation that we're going to have later on. Crazy B and I were talking. Anybody in the chat know what? As soon as she goes to share it, do you know what these items are about once you see them?
Okay, let me share it. All right. Whoops. And boom.
Okay, what are they?
Well, I know. I'm going to stay quiet.
You know, but in the chat, what are they that you're looking at? Ignore the vases in the front. What are the 3 items in the front?
I think they might be a few seconds behind, so let's just give it a
fine.
minute.
I was going to do 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 do.
Irby says an urn.
Yep. Anybody else? Do 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 do. Oh my gosh, I sound it's terrible. And what do you think they are?
If she's able to type, she might be away from device, or I'm not sure.
Oh, look, we got Botrixes in there.
Yep, it's telling everyone to like, share, follow, comment.
Follow. Yeah, we'll get on that kick when we're done here.
Anne's got question marks.
Oh, okay. So Arby is right. They are small urns, probably 2.5 inches. Arby.
Oh my God.
Arby, you're in trouble.
Oh no, there's 2 of them. Hold on. I'm not putting up that last one, buddy.
You just did.
I'm not getting in trouble for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll be in big trouble. Arby was right the first time before he started with the funny stuff. They are urns. The one on the left is my uncle from Vietnam. The middle one is my dad, and the other one is my mother. And the reason for this is we had a discussion about uh, ancestry and how you were able to track ancestry via, particularly via cemeteries and obituaries, things of that nature. Today, with people being cremated due to the expense of funerals, and cremation is a cheaper form of being having the body. What word I'm trying to use appropriate words here. To have, yeah, I'm struggling there, so we'll just say cremation again. But in these instances, when I'm gone or my son is gone and I have my grandchildren or the great grandchildren and the great greats, how are they going to go about finding family history? This stops right here with my parents and my uncle. There is no place to go right now to find out what happened to them or where they were. In this case, I paid to have obituaries done, but most people have stopped doing that due to the cost of the newspaper ads. You're not required to have an obituary put in the newspaper. So if you're going to start doing ancestry type things, where and what do we do and how do we find them? My parents are in these little jars, and the rest of them, a third of them are in the ocean, the other third is in the mountain, and the other third is on the property. Their ashes have been scattered. So, what do we do? So, we'll talk a little bit later on about ancestry type things, but we wanted to get a, in this case, jar your memory or your uh, future memories into that type of position. But it's something to consider. And how will we go about tracking or keeping aware of our ancestry? And as Crazy B brought up to me, oh, it's going to be up to your family to have the stories and have things written down, but we know many people don't. And how are we going to go about finding people? So that's going to be an interesting discussion that we'll have later. But I do enjoy how we're ending our Friday thanks to RB and his ideas. I think we've gone off on a very, gone off, if you get it, on a very good note. So, with that, that ends, I think, our Friday piece. And again, I'm not going to have Crazy B put it up. We'll save it for Sunday again. But we really need people to like and follow the videos. We are so underwater. You cannot find us. I've had 2 people send me a message saying, "D, I have no idea where you guys are at." So we are buried beneath the reeds. We're on the bottom of the pond, and we're trying to work our way up. So if you could give us a like, a follow, or subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. And on Sunday, yes, God willing, or God not willing, will be our last of the information you see as is, and then we will go into the new programming that we had planned for this week that we just didn't have our shit together. So hopefully that will get pulled off on Tuesday. Correct, Crazy?
That is the plan.
All right. What else do you have to say for today before we leave?
That's it.
Oh, you have nothing else to say? You worn out?
I'm done for the day. I'm beat.
You're beat? All right. What do we got in the chat?
Just everybody saying bye
All
and have
right.
a
Well,
good
we
day.
appreciate everybody sticking with us. The chat has been awesome. For you listeners that are just lurkers or creepers, we appreciate you too. And there goes my voice. It's going.
So you go get some tea, and
Yes,
we're
I
going to
have it
call it a
right here.
day.
I'm done, and let's hit the outro then. And Crazy Bee, thanks for pulling everything together. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
And remember, guys, we're in 2 separate states. Oh, wait, we can't go. We have the one situation where, do you know when you know people or for a long time and you find out commonalities? Do you remember what we
Yes.
talked about this morning? Why don't you tell
But I
that?
didn't get a chance to grab a picture.
Oh, fine. Do you want to save it then?
Yeah, let's save that for
Okay, we'll save it.
when we
All
cover
right, that's
more.
cool. All right, it's funny after all this talking, there's a commonality that occurred, and we're like, "What? How? How could this possibly be?" So I think you'll find it interesting. So with
Mhm.
that, I'm done. I'm not saying another word. I'm
I'm
just
gonna go ahead, hit the outro, and
that's
get
it.
ready to upload this to the next one. And I gotta
You-
drop RAM in my PC as soon as we're done too.
Oh, did it
So
come in?
yes, it
Did you
did.
get it?
Yes, it did. It is here.
Awesome. She'll be able to keep her memory going then. Too bad we couldn't do that in our head.
My computer's memory will be better,
I know,
but
that's what I'm saying. Why couldn't we just drop a chip in there? Anyway, have a good day. Have a good Friday, everybody. Have a good Saturday. We will see you Sunday from 3 to 5. All
yep.
right? All right. Have a
Oh,
good one.
okay. So with that, I thank you all for showing up, being here. And as usual, stay safe, stay sane, stay sober. I truly appreciate those who showed up and those who are going to be watching later on. I will catch y'all on the next one.